second issue for this debate this evening is called Economic Development and Jobs. And that goes to you, Mr. Lloyd. You begin, please.
Thank you very much. A big part of being the state rep is to help businesses in Franklin and Medway to work on ways to get people back to work. People are struggling. I recognize that. People are struggling, and I want to help them out. Now, I spent some time at a company called Zephyrmetrics, a Franklin biomedical company that helps scientists fight infectious diseases. And when I was meeting with the president of that company, I asked him, why did you locate your business here? You could have located it anywhere. He said that he chose Franklin because it offers an educated workforce, strong infrastructure, lower costs, and a high quality of life. He was showing me how his business was expanding. They were in the third phase of an expansion. When the global aerospace company, Kinetic, was opening a facility in 2008, they asked the senior vice president what drew him to the area. And again, he said it's the strong public education system that helps them attract good quality employees in the area. And when former Representative Jim Valley endorsed me a few weeks ago, we chose to do it at Clark Cutler McDermott, which is a world-class manufacturer of insulation and interior components for the automotive industry. Those are three types of businesses that offer private examples of the jobs and economic development priorities I'm going to take with me to Boston. Creating jobs and getting our economy back on track is the #1 priority. Now, since Rich is maintaining his notion that Massachusetts is not doing well, I want to share with him a report from the AIM, which is the Associated Industries of Massachusetts. That's not a political branch, that's business leaders in the community. And let me share with you what they say about Massachusetts. The innovation and technology-driven Massachusetts economy has in many ways become the envy of the country. The Bay State navigated a 4-year fiscal crisis without raising income taxes, and its 7% unemployment rate remains well below the rest of the nation. That's good. We're on the right track. Can we do better? Of course we can. But we're leading the way, and this is going to take a long time to get out of this economic mess. We have work to do, and I'm prepared to go to Beacon Hill and finish what's been started. We have a jobs bill that was just passed by the legislature, and there are other steps that Massachusetts has taken. We have strategic economic development for an innovation economy, promoting infrastructure investments. I'd suggest that you may want to take a look at the Choosing to Compete in the 21st Century, which is the strategic plan which was released by the Department of Economic Development in December of 2011. This outlines how Massachusetts is leading the way and is being successful on economic development. I have five pieces that I want to follow. I want to put more money back in the pockets of local consumers by taking a hard look at rolling back the sales tax to 5%. I think that would be an economic boost to you folks. I want to work with local, state, and federal officials to help small businesses and give them the assistance and infrastructure grants that they need. I want to improve public higher education because we have a lot of jobs out there that people simply are not qualified to do, and we have to educate them. I want to reduce the cost of doing business by getting rid of antiquated regulations. That's been started by the administration. I checked with the folks at Economic Development. Last year alone, 167 regulations were modified. And finally, I want to partner with the leaders in Franklin and Medway to support them and their needs. And let's get this economy back on track. We're on the right track, and we have to finish what we started. Thank you.
Jeff, I'm glad you were able to get an endorsement out of local employers. So many have left our state in recent years. It might have been difficult to find one. And I'm going to continue to bash Beacon Hill on issues like speakers of the House from your party being indicted federally. It's a disgrace. It doesn't happen in other states. We set the record for that. It's unacceptable, and I will speak out about that. I'll speak out about it on the stage, and I'll speak out about it when I get to Beacon Hill as well. We're currently ranked 47th out of 50 states by Fortune 500 CEOs. This is a failing grade by our legislature. And no, Jeff, to answer your question, that is not good enough. A third of the businesses headquartered in this state have left in the last 20 years. A third of them have gone, taking with them the pride that those job owners had in their jobs when they lost them, taking with them the tax revenue that was born from those jobs that fund everything that we care about locally. Tax rates and regulation have chased them away. And these are the employers that wanted to be here. Think about that. They decided to make a go of it here. They invested in the community. They hired our citizens. They wanted to be here and left. Those statistics don't even begin to measure the employers that surveyed the landscape here in Massachusetts politically and decided this wasn't the place for them and never even made a start here. Look at companies like EMC, Jeff. Look at companies like Fidelity and how they've left this state. The Pioneer Institute did a great study on the financial services institutions when so many of Fidelity's jobs left. And what they found was, just in our neighboring states, states like Rhode Island and New Hampshire, the same companies with the same fixed costs going over our state line were infinitely more profitable because of the breaks in the tax that they got from those states and not in this state. So the jobs have left. Fidelity's left. EMC has sent countless jobs down to the Carolinas. This isn't working. We're not competing with our neighboring states. We're not competing with the states around this country. It's not working. The statistics bear this out. And if you don't see that, and if you think that things are going great, then sending you to Beacon Hill is not going to help change the problem, Jeff. We're overly regulated. For an example, our state passed a data security regulation that goes far beyond what the federal FTC regulations require. The Small Business Association estimates this is going to cost businesses of 10 employees or more an average of $9,000 a year to meet our heightened regulation. It's not necessary. We've got federal regulations to deal with this. But our state wants to make the burden greater for our employers. It's the wrong priority. Now, the Democrats have caused these higher taxes. They've had control. They've caused the increased regulation. But it is, after all, an election year. So the Democratic Party is now in favor of jobs. Saying you're for jobs while creating conditions that drive them away is like saying you're for the rabbits running in the field while releasing the wolves to hunt them down. You know what happens? The rabbits run away. They go to safer pastures. And so they have done in this state. These employers aren't the only ones to leave. Our residents, as I mentioned earlier, are leaving in record numbers. And these jobs and these residents aren't leaving because of the weather. On the contrary, the Census Bureau will demonstrate that the great majority of them are going just over the state line to our neighboring New England states, where I'm told it snows just as enthusiastically. Here's what needs to change. We need to follow the example of our neighboring states and provide tax relief that makes it attractive to employers. We need to decrease unnecessary regulation. And we need to enforce immigration laws. Bringing in illegal immigration to this state and having our employers compete with employers that don't have to follow the law, don't have to pay taxes, don't have to follow regulations, puts them at a competitive disadvantage. Thank you.